urge surfing. So this is a practice to help us relate differently to cravings or urges to drink, or indeed any reactive behavior we might be having an urge to perform. And often when we experience strong cravings, we have thoughts or urges to behave to satisfy those cravings. When we're on autopilot, which we often are in our lives, we often do what we feel is going to meet our needs right now, despite a faint whisper of knowledge that it won't help in the long run. So you may be listening to this now because you are experiencing a craving or an urge to drink. So let's begin by pausing here. Perhaps taking a long, slow breath. And committing to staying with this feeling for a little while without reacting. Being open to the feeling. Remembering that the worst thing this feeling can do on its own is to make us feel it. So although it's uncomfortable, the feeling itself is not threatening to us. Most often it's our reaction to the feeling that causes us harm rather than the feeling itself. So taking a moment now to adjust your posture. You can do this sitting or standing or lying. Allow your posture to be reasonably upright, open, relaxed. And inviting any areas of tension or holding or bracing to soften a little. Softening the jaw, behind the eyes, the shoulders, allowing the belly to be soft. Just allowing space for the breath to flow as best you can. And acknowledging what emotions you're feeling. Acknowledging any physical discomfort. Noticing and allowing thoughts you might be struggling with that are painful or worrying or familiar. Stories that you're telling yourself about the world or about yourself. And acknowledging too how you're responding to these experiences. Perhaps thinking, I don't want this experience, I want it to end, I want it to be different. And just noticing that aversion. And seeing what it's like to be with whatever's happening in your body and mind. Dropping the need to control it or to get rid of it, or to react habitually by engaging with a behavior that's ultimately not serving you. And noticing whether the urge is decreasing or increasing or staying the same. And if the urge is intensifying, imagining it like a wave. We can often believe that cravings will continue to go up and up and up until we finally become overwhelmed and we do something to stop it, like having a drink. But what we know about cravings and other intense emotions is they often rise, but if we let them be, without reacting in our usual way, often they reach a point where they crest and then eventually they come down again. They fade. So our job is to stay with the wave, calmly, a bit like surfing. We ride on top of the experience. Using the breath if we need to, perhaps like a surfboard, to support us as we ride it, rather than letting it wipe us out. Being curious about this experience, noticing what it's like in the body. What is the mind doing? What's happening with your emotions? Are they static or fluctuating? Are they rising in intensity or subsiding? There's no right or wrong. And maybe asking what it is you actually need in this moment of difficulty. So often when we experience cravings to use substances, it's not the substance itself that we crave. There's actually a deeper need beneath that craving. And alcohol, for example, is a substitute for the deeper need. So for some it could be loneliness, wanting company, or wanting relief from stress, or freedom from their present circumstances, the trials of the mind or body, a sense of connection perhaps. So asking yourself, what do I really want right now? What need is not being met? And don't worry if an answer doesn't come to that question straight away. Just asking the question itself is enough. Notice how for the past few minutes you've stayed present with this experience, rather than reacting with your previous habitual response, which shows that you have a choice, at least for a few minutes, whenever emotions arise that are strong, however desperate or anxious your cravings, however tense or painful, whatever your mind is telling you to do, you do have a choice. And it's not easy, but as you know deep down in the long run, it will be more nourishing of your well-being and your life to ride these urges rather than react by having a drink or using any other behavior which provides temporary relief. So now taking a nice, long, slow breath. And really letting go on the out-breath. And knowing that you can stay with this urge surfing practice as long as you need. Often the waves will rise again and then fall again. But for now, releasing any tension, staying curious, and either repeating this process or when you're ready, gently letting go of the exercise and moving on with the next moments of your day.